Hi, my name is Megan Hance, and this is my Building Leadership Practicum portfolio. A little bit about myself. I am currently a special education teacher at a school in Kansas. I teach at a KH2 school. I'm a behavior teacher. This is my third year teaching. Some professional goals for me are to become an administrator of an elementary school. I'd like to utilize technology in my school greatly and to always do what's best for the students. My personal goals are to stay organized and knowledgeable in all things that are coming out, always staying on top of kind of that research, and to continue to better myself in my work and my personal life. In 2 years, I still see myself teaching special ed. I really enjoy it, but about maybe 5 to 10 years, I'd like to become an administrator of an elementary school. My philosophy of education, I just kind of described what I thought to be being a successful leader meant. I think that a successful leader has a lot of different characteristics. Some of these include being able to collaborate with people, having relationship skills, being able to communicate effectively. I think that a successful leader needs to inspire the people around them, and they need to all buy into one mission and vision that they all work towards. I think successful leaders have to problem solve. They need to be able to delegate tasks and always do what's best for the good of what they're doing. My plan of study includes, here is all of the classes that I've taken. I started taking classes in summer 2015 and I will be done spring 2016. So there's all my classes. And then my resume, just the teaching experiences I've had. I've taught in Kansas and North Carolina, and then all of the additional trainings that I've received from where I've worked. Next, we'll talk about my bibliography. There was a lot of articles I could have choose to put in here, different ones from classes that I'd taken and just kind of different research I've done on my own. I decided these 10. I can't talk about all of them, but I do want to point out my favorite one was this one by Khalifa. Muhammad Khalifa was his name. There's 2 reasons I really like this article. The first one is that it was completed at Michigan State, which is, I'm from Michigan, so it's my home state, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then this article really helped me gain a better understanding of how to be a successful leader and a community leader and how those kind of go hand in hand. And that being a school leader, you can play a major role in the community and how to kind of use that to help better your school and the school environment, the school culture, the students, all of those things. So I really enjoyed that article. And these are some other articles that I read. Next, we'll talk about the things I've done. I had so many awesome experiences doing this practicum. It was really hard to kind of choose just a couple to talk about. The first one is the elementary school things that I did. I joined the behavior intervention team and kind of shadowed my administrator for a little bit and then helped kind of run these meetings. So the BIT team was doing a whole renovation of their behavior things. So they're making a new protocol for how they do functional behavior assessments. So as a team, we spent many, many meetings creating this, and now I actually got to help just last week put this into motion and actually start doing it with a student. So that was pretty awesome. I was also given the opportunity to team with different grade levels. We're only a K-2 school, so I was able to sit in on a couple different meetings, PLC teaming times with these. This is a picture of the first grade teachers that I helped. In these meetings, we talked about relating to Common Core, different things that are going on in the classroom, how to tie in different things, how to better prepare students for the next grade levels, and finding those holes and gaps in our instruction. It was really fun to be a part. As a special education teacher, I don't get to really do that, so that was awesome to be able to be there and as the administrator kind of help sit back and only offer advice and opinions when needed, but kind of just to see the teachers go from there. I also got to do morning bus duty. Our administrator is always the first one to welcome all of the kids off the bus. She stands outside in the bus lane and gets them all off and makes sure that the whole morning process goes smoothly. So I helped her do that for a few weeks as well. The district activities that I did were, I was able to do some walkthroughs with some different administrators. I've know my walkthrough and how the process goes, but it was cool to see being an administrator to be a part of it. They do these on the iPads, and they actually gave me an iPad and let me kind of try and do what they were doing, but seeing what I would get as well. So these are the things that we were looking for. And then down here, you just checked what you were able to observe in the classroom when you were in there. They're short, like 10-15 minute walkthroughs, so you're really looking for a lot of things, but it was a good way to be able to get into a lot of different classrooms and for the students to see the administrator in the classroom and helping support the teacher. So that was really cool. Another thing I got to do was be a part of a whole observation. So we first started with the pre-conference meeting, and due to confidentiality, I didn't post the actual one I got to be in on, but I got a copy of the pre-conference meeting, and I was able to sit and listen to the teacher talk about what the lesson they were going to be doing and the administrator asking questions. So here's the questions that they were asked to answer at that meeting. And then after the observation, I also was able to sit on the post-conference, and they had to reflect on their lesson, say if they met their goals, if they would redo the lesson in any way, what would it be? So that was really cool to see a teacher have to reflect on her own with the administrator, and the administrator was giving good advice and helping with suggestions as well. The secondary ones, I've never taught in a high school, so these were kind of interesting to me to be a part of. The first thing I did, I really love doing case studies. I love reading and like having to put myself in the situation. So I put in a case study that we did for the Wellington High School case. This case was about athletics kind of versus academics, and I feel like that's something that a lot of high school administrators have to deal with. So I put my assignment in from here and kind of discussed my action plan and what I would do. So we were asked to create the action plan and what we think would be best. So I kind of used my resources and got the superintendent involved and made sure I kind of covered what I was doing. So I really do enjoy case studies, so I added that. And then the other thing I did, or that I included, was I went to a student improvement team, and I was only able to put their initials in here, but we met with teachers that were concerned with some students in their classes. We talked about a 10th grader, a 9th grader, and a 12th grader, and they brought like work samples and kind of notes that they had taken throughout the semester that they were trying to seek advice and help of how to better help this student. So that was cool. And next, here's my activity log. I'm pretty proud of the things I got to be involved with. I have over the 6 for elementary, secondary, and district, but these were all really good experiences that I received from them. Next, my administrator evaluation. My administrator signed this. I did a lot of things with her. I shadowed her on a lot of meetings and was able to kind of go with her and see how her days run. So she signed that form for me. Finally, my reflection. In my reflection, I discussed what I thought this practicum experience would be like before. I was really excited about some things, and I was really nervous about some things. I was excited to be able to do like administrative meetings and observations and be able to be a part of a PLC team. I was worried that there would be a lot of hours and it would be kind of tedious to do while working still, but I had some good experiences while doing so. Some of the things I found from the actual experience was similar to what I had thought before. I did really enjoy being a part of the meetings. I like to see what's going on kind of behind the scenes and how everything runs. I loved hearing at board meetings new policies and hearing from outside sources and parents, dealing with improvements and suggestions, things like that. I was put in charge of running a staff meeting, which made me very nervous because I didn't feel like they'd take me very seriously, but they did, and the meeting went fine. And after my practicum was completed, I was just constantly thinking about how I don't think that teachers really know how much administrators do, and how after I had shadowed my administrator for days, they are really busy and they have a lot of work to do. So I didn't really think that staff members overall realize what goes into that. So it made me kind of think about what I would do if I was an administrator to try to help get more people involved, and more people respecting what the administrator actually goes through and has to do. So I talked about getting all of the stakeholders and staff members and everybody together to try to get the same mission and vision. I would delegate more tasks, get more people involved, create committees to do things that I would be a part of, but kind of sit back more and let them provide their suggestions and their opinions. I would also include them on decisions, asking for opinions and inputs, and when they give those, actively listening to what their wants and their needs are. I think you have to be open, or you have to be able to hear what they want and open and honest with them if you want the respect from them. So overall, I had a pretty good experience. I really enjoyed being able to put the knowledge that I had learned from the classes into hands-on experiences, and I think that I learned a lot, and I am pretty set up to being a successful administrator.